Well, hello guys, welcome to Man Cave on Trains. Thank you if you've hopped over from the Norfolk Man Cave channel. If not, welcome back to my regulars. We are going to fire this puppy up. This is my model train, and yes, it's for those of you that don't know a lot about model trains. These are not train sets. That's a very quick way to upset the model railway enthusiast. They call these actually, model railways, miniature railways, whatever. They are far from train sets. Let's have a little zoom in at what we've got. We have on the top track, we have American stuff, which is a Santa Fe, and that's a EMD GP30, along with a nice rake of rolling stock spanning back there quite a way. There's a boneyard you can see. Down here we have a power unit, which is this little fella you can see right here. That's actually meant to have a locomotive in front, so it's like an additional power unit. And there is another train tucked away, which should be where I left it 8 months ago, hidden in that back tunnel. There should be another English train in there, an old Class 37. Without any further ado, let's get this puppy fired up so you can see exactly what it's all about. So in case you're wondering, this is N gauge. I will show you how big N gauge is in a minute. I've just got to crawl underneath and plug this thing in. There we go, we've plugged. Oh, we have lights. So this has not been used for several months. I will just show you the controller. If I pull my little box of tricks out here, here's our control unit. This one is for the lights. It's a variable unit, and I can brighten or dim the lights just by altering the power to them. So that's a 12 volt. There you go, that's just a 12 volt power supply. There we go. And this little unit you see here is a 1970s, maybe 80s H&M DC powered controller. So this is not DCC. For those of you that don't know, model trains come in two variants. They used to be DC years ago, which is just direct current. But of late, a lot of people have moved over to DCC, which is digital control, basically, digital command control. All this basically does is varies between 1 and 12 volts. I think this one, that one I think does the top track, and I think this one does this bottom track. So it's independent. All this does is vary anywhere from 1 to about 12.5 volts. That's it. If you have digital command, what that is there's 16 volts put through your track at any time, and each little train has its own little computer chip in it, and it's controlled from a computer module, blah blah. I don't go in for all that. Oh, looking in the tunnel, I can see my British Industrial Sounds carriages. I mean wagons, hoppers, that's the word. And he should come out of this tunnel. But to start with, we're going to try and fire up this American loco. So let's get your camera back in the tripod. Let's zoom in. Can you actually see him? Let's move him back a little. Ooh, there we go. And we'll see if we get any joy. So if I turn on... Alright, that's the one. Oh, he's moving. There we go. Oh, he's sluggish. So this has not been ran for 8 months now. There we go. 8 months since this has been running. Are we going to have dirty track? Is it going to stop dead somewhere? Because we've got a dead bit of track. And he's going along the back. And we're gaining a bit of speed. There he goes. There he goes around the back there. And here he comes. Oh, look at that. They've done nearly a full circuit without any breakages. Off he goes through his tunnel. Marvellous. There we go. That train runs perfect. Let's now move you guys over and see if we can get anything out of. Will the other train come out of this tunnel? Let's give him a start. You might see him start to move out of the back tunnel. Oh, here he comes. The train what's now coming is an English class 37. Oh, brilliant. Oh, we're getting some speed on with the top one now. She's starting to get a bit faster. Let's slow him down a little. There we go. And there is our class 37. There. Come on, give him a bit more speed. Come on, girl. She's sluggish. So these trains will probably need running in a bit because they haven't been run for so long. And yes, there is a thing with model trains. You do have to run them in if they've been sitting any length of time. They really want a service. Yeah. There we go. I'll tell you, a lot of people say you need years to build a train set. I can tell you categorically this one was built in 14 days from scratch. Yeah, this started off as a kitchen table I bought off Facebook for a £5. Put a blue, what do you call it, styrofoam top on it. I got some second-hand tracks, second-hand train, bought some scenery, some trees, made all this in 14 days to have an up and running train set that looked good. The only thing I've done since then is I've added a few bits. I have added the little coal mine, which you can see there. I did add that later. I added this station house later. There's a little Class 08 British Rail shunter there. So what I did is I went American trains on the top deck because these tracks are totally independent. You can't get one train to go from top to bottom. I made them totally independent. So I just control the bottom track from one controller and the top track from the other controller. And yeah, I built this in 14 days. Just get you in for a slightly closer look, so you can see a bit more detail. We have our building which is lit up. We have the church. Whoa, it's not my train. We have a church which is lit up. There's our class 37. There we go. All the buildings are lit up. They all have lighting. So all done in basically 14 days, including the N-gauge street lights. The little oil refinery. Whoa, he's cutting capers. Already I can see these trains are starting to speed up, which means the running in process is going well. There we go. There we go. For the experienced model railway enthusiasts among you, you'll know exactly what all this stuff is. But a lot of this is aimed for people that have come over from the other channel, just to get a look at model trains, and maybe it's really not their thing. Everything here should be relatively to scale. When we talk about end gauge, what that means is it's 1 in 147th scale. So this locomotive here is 147 times smaller than its original. So that is, like I say, it's a GP30 made by Bachmann in America. Oh dear, that train's just stopped. What's going on? Maybe if we give him a little nudge, he'll start again. There we go. Come on, get some power into him. Come on. This is what happens when train sits set for a long time. Oh, crikey, we're away. We're away. There you go. He just wanted a little helping hand. I reckon there's a little bit of dirty track through that tunnel. So what we'll do is we'll send him round there at full speed, and he'll hopefully clean the track up. Because when you run these trains at full speed, it will actually clean your track. And he really is cutting capers. That's a scale speed of about 80 miles an hour there. There we go. He's really cutting capers now. Oh yes. You don't want to run him at full speed for too long though. There we go. Let's slow him down a bit. And he should hopefully keep going now. Come on baby, through you go. Yeah, no problems. Yeah. I mainly built this layout because I always liked the Class 37. I'll tell you what, I'll stop that top train. Let's stop this train here. Slow down, baby. There we go. There we go. There. Right, a lot of you will remember these trains. They ran a lot through the 60s, 70s and 80s. They're what I call a traditional UK train with the bull snout. And yeah, I call these traditional trains. They're actually Class 37s. You can tell that because the first two numbers of the serial number is always the model of the locomotive. So 37's Class 37. When I was a kid in the 80s, there used to be a sand train that go through to what used to be called British Industrial Sands, which is 2 or 3 miles from my house. And I used to hear this thing. These locos have a really distinctive sound because they had a 1,600 horsepower, give or take. 1,600 horsepower, 6-cylinder, 2-stroke diesel engine with straight through exhaust out the roof. And they sounded amazing. And I'll always remember these things used to load up as they pulled out of the sand pit. And we could hear them 6 miles away. You could hear that train throttle up. And it used to leave that sand yard with these exact hoppers. British Industrial Sands hoppers. And as a kid, I used to get on my bicycle and ride up just to see and hear this train pull out with these hoppers on. And I loved it. And I never had a train set as a kid. Was never allowed one. Mum and Dad said I didn't have the patience. Well, when I turned 46, I thought, now I have got the patience. I'm going to build a rural replica of this sand train. So I made this. And I started off, I was just going to do the bottom layer, and then I thought, I can put a top layer in here as well and have a different train on it, so I can have 2 trains. My other favourite trains were American trains. Absolutely love them. So I thought, why not? Let's do English stuff on the bottom and American stuff on the top. So that's what I did. Little brief story of why I made this train. I didn't want to get involved with making railway stations and all that business because I'm a country boy, lived in a village all my life. You've all seen my yard in the man cave where I work from. So this to me is lovely. I just wanted a rural scenery with, you know, a little house, a church, a couple of little factories I added in there. The original train layout finished here, but I did extend a few months later and just added this bit on the back. You can actually see the join in the table where I added a piece on. So all through here, that bit I did add a couple of months later. The original bit ended somewhere here. There we go, it ended about there somewhere. I just had this loop which came around the original track. There's two tracks at the back there, and the original track was the one closest to us, which just came round in a loop. But I then added on the rear track that went right round and joined up to that track. Yes, these junctions here do work. So what we'll do is we'll park this train, this one here, we'll reverse him down here, and then I'll show you what this little shunter works like. And you'll also get a good, you know, a good idea of what end gauge actually looks like. So let's move him forward. We'll park him in the tunnel till we're clear of them points. Yeah. We flick this little switch now. You see the track move over. So now when we reverse him up, he should reverse down here. There we go, straight down. So we'll back him all the way down. He's now parked. We can then flick that little point back over. And now if we want, I'm going to take this power unit off or else this train will move. Let's get our little 08 shunter for you. That's how big end gauge train is. Very, very small. This is a little, like I say, it's a British Rail 08 shunter. So if we put him on there, and if we flick this switch over here, that should power this bit of track now. And that little shunter should move. Come on. Oh, he is really sluggish. What is going on with him? Oh my word, we're away. Come on, girl. Yeah, that little shunter has not been used for a long time and he's a bit sluggish. Let's see if he'll pull a few carriages. So let's put these wagons on. Oh, this coupler has gone really stiff. It's the only problem with model trains when you leave them a while. They do actually suffer a lot. You're better off running these trains every week. And they run so much better. Alright, he's hooked on. Let's see if he'll pull. Come on, girl. Come on. Does he need a little hand? No, he's away. Do you know, that might have just been because he's on this bit of track and that bit of track's dirty. Yeah, there he goes. There goes our little 08 shunter. We'll see him go through the back tunnel. Da, 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 there he goes. Come on, don't stop in that tunnel or I'll have to disassemble the unit to get him out. Here he comes. And there's our little 08 shunter. There we go. Yeah, he really needs a service. I'm not going to send him through again because he's starting to splutter. And I don't want him playing us up. Yep, I have some servicing to do on this piece of these points and this bit of track. Because that hardly ever gets used because I use it for parking. it's got thoroughly dirty, because I doubt I've used this bit of track in 2 years. So now we can just put this point back on and we can set this 37 going again. There he goes. Oh, what's this? We have a carriage stuck in there. Look, there we go. Put him down. There we go. So let's set him going. There he goes. So yeah, this is the model railway. Have we got these trains on the tracks? It sounds a bit rochety, like we've got a carriage which isn't fully on its track. Nope. Nope. I thought something weren't right. We have one which is not quite sitting right on the track. Reverse up. Should be right now. Looking back on. Yeah, they're all on now. You can hear them, they're running smooth. There we go. We had one that weren't quite on its track. One wheel was off. Let's get the American one going, then we'll wrap this video up. Here come our American train. Did it? Here he comes. Here he comes. Let's give him a burst of speed. There we go. Well, considering they haven't been run for 8 months, apart from a little bit of teething trouble with 2 sets of points, we aren't too bad. There we go. So this is N-gauge model railway. And you can see how small these things are. I'll put the hand behind it just to give you some scale so you can see sort of how big these things are. Not very. There we have it. Right. Oh, I forgot my little alpine house up on the hill. Right, this is Man Cave signing out. Hope you've enjoyed it. This is the first run for 7 or 8 months, 6 or 7 months, something like that. I think last February was about the last time I used it. So, to say, I have other things to do in the summer, so this tend not to get used a lot. There we go. Right, that's it for now. See you next time. Bye bye for now. Haha.